Hello my dear students, today we are going to learn class 9 social science. We will take up civics chapter number 5 working of institutions. Okay, let us start. How is a major policy decision take place? Okay, let us start. That means how that policy decision were taken. Okay, let us start. A government orders. Okay, on August 13, 1990, the government of India issued an order. It was called an office memorandum. On 13 August 1990, government of India issued an order that is called an office memorandum. Like all the government order, it had been numbered, and it is known as OM number the 363012/31/90 establish SCT. Okay, that 13 August 1990. Okay, the joint secretary and officer. An officer is an department of personnel and training in the ministry, personnel, public and grievance pension signs the order. That means it was signed by the that means joint secretary. Okay, and it's quite short, barely one page. It looked like any ordinary circulars or notice that you have been seen in the school. The government issue hundreds of orders every day of different matters, but this one was very important and becomes a source of controversy for several years. Let us see the decision was taken and what happened. Okay, look here. This is an office order which was issued in 13 August 1990s. Okay, and it is issued from the government of India. For this one, okay, there was a lot of discussion. Okay, how this become law. Let us see. Okay, these orders announce a major policy decision. It said that 20, that means with this office order it said that 27% of the vacancy in the civil and civil posts and services under the government of India, it should be reserved. Okay, 27% have to be reserved. Okay, under the government of India for whom? For the civic. Okay, socially educationally backward classes. Okay, SEC is the another name of those for all those people who belong to the caste that are considered to be backward by the government. The benefit of job reservation was still then available only for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Now a new third category is called SEBC was introduced. Only a person who belongs to backward classes were eligible for this quota of 27% jobs. Other could not compete for this job. Okay, look here. That means this was order in 1990. Okay, look here. According to this, 27% they are reserved for SEBC. Okay, before that only they were reserved for scheduled tribe and scheduled caste. Okay, with this, they are reserved. Okay, they are reserved for even for SEBEC also. Okay, so the decision maker. Okay, let us see who are taking part in decision making of this one. Okay, who decided to issue this memorandum clearly says that a big decision could not have been taken by the person who signed that document. The officer was merely implementing the instruction given by the Minister Personnel, Grievance and the Pension on which the department was part. We can guess that such a major decision would have been involved other major functionary in our country. You have already read the previous class about some of them. Let us go over some of the main point. Look here. That means this policy were issued by only the government officials. Okay, look here. But the main decision were taken by whom? By the ministers. Where? In the parliaments. Okay, they were discussing this one. Okay, the president is the head of the states. Okay, look here. That means president is the head of the state. It is the highest formal authority in the country. That means formally he is the highest. Okay. Prime Minister is the head of the government. That means President is the head of the state and Prime Minister is the head of the government. Okay, and actually exercise all the power. That means prime minister exercise all the power. Okay, he take all decisions with his cabinet. Okay, minister in cabinet meeting. Okay, parliament consists of two houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Prime minister must be the support a majority of Lok Sabha member. That means look here, prime minister he got supported from the Lok Sabha. So where all the people involved in the decision making, the office memorandum, let us find. Okay, let us see. The office memorandum was culminations for a long change event. The government of India had appointed second backward classes committee in 1789. It was headed by B.P. Mandal. Okay, that means it was what started from 1979. Okay, it is headed by B.P. Mandal. Okay, and hence it was popularly called Mandal Commission. Before it was called the Mandal Commissions. Okay, and they were looking, okay, it should be provided or it should be not provided. Okay, so they have given and they have give their report. Okay, after surveying all these things, okay, it was started in 1979. Okay, and they are giving report in 1980s. Okay, and one of this was 27%. Okay, that means with this that 127 they are reserved, okay, especially for the backward classes. Okay, for several years many parliament and the parties kept demanding implementation. That means in the parliament they were discussing about this matter. Okay, then they kept in the Lok Sabha election in 1989 in the manifesto of Janata Dal. Okay, that means Janata Dal is promising that if they become a government, okay, then they will do this one. Okay, that Mandal Commission. So that's why they are promising. So that means the Janata Dal did that means in that year the Janata Dal formed the government and they became, okay, then B.P. Singh become the prime ministers. Okay, so after that what happened, several development took place. Okay, after that development have been taken place. Okay, so the president of India in his address the parliament announced the intention of government to implement that means the president now they have started implement. Okay, the president have already announced to implement this Mandal Commission. So in 16 August the Union Cabinet took formal decision. That means they took a formal recommendations. Okay, formal decisions. So in the next day the prime minister, okay, B.P. Singh informed that the parliament, that both the house, okay, that they have taken this step. Okay, so the decision of cabinet and their others, okay, what happened, so they became, okay, successful. Okay, on which day, on 13 August 1990. Okay, now we have seen that after implementing that for the few months or for the whole years, what happened, they were discussing about this is good, this is bad, even in magazine, okay, even in news or something. That means that means in everywhere they were discussing, okay, this is right, this is bad. But what happened, so some they were they don't want this one, so they have went to Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court they look after very carefully, okay, and they give the judgment. The Supreme Court judge in 1990 declared that this order is government of India was violated. That means the Supreme Court is also given the orders. Okay, this was the right decisions. Okay, so need for political institutions. Okay, why do we need a political institution? Let us see. So we have seen one example of how the government worked. Governing a country involves a very such activity. For example, the government is responsible for ensuring security to citizens and providing facility for education and health to all. It collects taxes, spend money for rise on administration, defense and development sector. That means what happened, the government need very responsibility. They have to look for every look of corners, okay, and to bring a development. Okay, it formulate the implement several welfare schemes. Okay, some person have to take decision on how to go about to take decision and how to go about these activities. Okay, other have to implement this decision in dispute arise. Say suppose while forming one policy and there will be a lot of discussions. Okay, so to attend to all the tasks, several arrangements are made. All modern democracies, such arrangements are called institution. That means before we go any step, that means they have to do arrangement. Now that arrangement that is called a what institution. Okay, a democracy work well. This institution perform function assigned to them. The constitution of any country lay down basic rules and power and functions. Okay, so of its institutions. Okay, let us see. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet are the institutions that make all important policy decisions. That means the Prime Minister and this Cabinet of Minister, they are going to take decision in this one. Okay, in this institution, the civil service working together responsibly for taking steps to implement the minister's decisions. Once the ministers have taken decisions, then the government of servant, they have to make what? Implement that policies. Okay, the Supreme Court is an institution where, suppose Supreme Court is the institution where if there is any what dispute between the citizen and the government, Supreme Court, they are going to settle this one. Okay, working with the institution is not easy. That means working with the institution is not easy. Institution involves rule and regulations. Okay, this can be bind the hands of leader. Institution involve meeting committees, routines. This often lead to delay, complications. Okay, therefore dealing with the institution can be frustrating. One might feel it is much better to have one person to take all decisions without any rule, procedures and meeting, but it is not a spirit of democracy. Some of delay and complication introduced by institution are very useful. They provide an opportunity for a wider set of people to consult with decisions. Institutions make it difficult to have good decision taken very quickly, but they also make equality difficult to rush throughout a bad decision. That is why democratic government insists on institution. Look here, what happened? These institutions, okay, to run this one, it is very difficult. Okay, it cannot be run by one person. Okay, one person cannot take all the decisions. Okay, so they have to discussion with so many people. That means they are sent by they are the representative of the people now. So there they are going to discuss a lot of things. Okay, and next is what? Parliament. In the example of the office memorandum, do you remember the role of the parliament? Perhaps not. Since the decision was not taken by the parliament, you may have that there are no roles. Let us go back to the story of parliaments. Okay, let us recall main points. Okay, let us see how the mandals are formed. That means parliament is not responsibility. Let us see. The report of the Mandal Commission was discussion. Okay, that means there will form one committee to survey that one. So Mandal Commission was formed and they were discussed. The president of India mentioned this. Okay, the president of India mentioned that one. The prime minister and was not directly taken in the parliament, but parliamentary discussion on the report in favor. That means the prime ministers, they are not taken directly decisions. Okay, they were discussed, which is given by the Mandal Commission. The survey report were discussed very carefully, and after that they are discussing. Okay, that one. Why do we need a parliament? Why we need a parliament? In all democracy, an assembly, okay, of elected representative exercise supreme political authority on behalf of peoples. Okay, that means they are the representative of people now. So they are representing the peoples. In India, such a national assembly of elected representative is called a parliament. Okay, at the state level, it is called the legislature or the state legislative. Okay, the name may be different in different countries, but such an assembly exists in every democracy. That means in every democracy they have to do that one, but they have given different names. Okay, parliament is the final authority for making law in our country. That means parliament is the what final authority to make it what law in the countries. Okay, parliament all over the world exercise some control over who run the government. That means parliament were under the throughout the whole world they are controlled by the government. Okay, in some country like India, this is control this control is under directly and full those who run the government. That means in India what happened, those who run the government, they are directly or indirectly they control the parliament. Okay, parliament control all the money that government have. Okay, that means the parliament also control all the money, okay, what the government have. Okay, parliament is the highest forum of all decision and debate on public issues and national policy in any country. That means what happened, parliament is the highest forum, okay, to discuss and debate, okay, before it become a policy in our countries. Okay, two houses of the parliament. Since the parliament play a central role in the modern democracy, most countries divided the role and the power of the parliament into two parts. Okay, they are called the chamber or the house. One house is usually directly elected by the people and they exercise the real power on behalf of the people. The second one is usually directly elected indirectly and perform some special function. The most common work for the second one is to look after the interests for the various states and the region and the federal unit. Okay, look here, we have two houses of parliament. One house is what they are directly elected by the people, and another one is not directly elected by the people. Okay, they are indirectly elected by the perform of special functions. Okay, in our country the parliament consists of two houses. The two houses, okay, the two houses are known the council of the states. Okay, that is Rajya Sabha. Council of the state is Rajya Sabha, and the another one is what, the Lok Sabha. The president of India is a part of the parliament. That means the president is the part of the parliament, although she is not a member of either house. That means president is the part of the parliament, but he is not member. Okay, he is not the member of both houses. Okay, so that is why all the law are made in the house come into force only after they receive the essence of the that means after discussing, okay, all the policy from the board house. That means president is going to assign that one, okay, accept that one, only then that they become law. Okay, you have read the Indian parliament in the earlier form. Yes, we have already read. Okay, which of the house is more powerful? It might be Rajya Sabha. Okay, it might appear that the Rajya Sabha is more powerful sometimes. Okay, it is called upper chamber, and the Lok Sabha is called the lower chamber, but it does not mean that Rajya Sabha have more powerful than Lok Sabha. This is just a old style speaking and not language used in our constitution. Then we thought that Rajya Sabha is the upper house, it is the more powerful. Okay, that concept is totally wrong. Our constitution give, okay, Rajya Sabha some special power over the state. That means Rajya Sabha, our constitution give Rajya Sabha some special power over the state, but most of the matters the Lok Sabha exercise the supreme power. That means in moreover what happened, Lok Sabha exercise the supreme power. Okay, an ordinary law needs to be passed by the both house. That means in ordinary law they need to be what, passed in both houses. Okay, but if there is difference between two houses, the final decision taken by the zone in member both the houses sit together, because the larger number of member in the view Lok Sabha is likely to prevail in such meeting. Okay, we have to know that Lok Sabha is more powerful. Lok Sabha exercise more powerful in money matter also. Lok Sabha also more powerful in money matter. Okay, if both the houses there is different view, Rajya Sabha can only delay 14 days. Okay, in that matter they cannot what cancel that one. Okay, and the third matter is most important. Lok Sabha control the Council of Minister, only a person who enjoy the support the majority of the member. That means in Lok Sabha, when the Council of Minister and the Prime Minister, they enjoy that one now, more powerful. And the political executive. Okay, political executive. Okay, we have to know who are executive. Okay, political and permanent executives. Okay, political executive, those who are elected for 5 years, the political leaders. Okay, they are called political executive. Permanent executive, that means which come permanently join. Okay, from the civil service. Okay, they are called what happened, permanent executive. Okay, suppose that political executive, they are not well educated, but that permanent executive, they are well educated. So that permanent executive, they cannot take decisions. Okay, that means they have to take that means that political executive, they have to take advice from whom? From the permanent executive. Why? Because permanent executive, they are well expert in any matters. Okay, like financial or technology or something like that. So suppose education minister, they are not more educated, they are more educated. That means education director is more educated than education minister. Na? Why? Because education director is what? They are coming from civil service. Okay, they know about that one. So education minister is taking advice from education directors. Okay, so that's one. That means they are the permanent. So permanent executive, they are going to settle after 5 years also. Okay, that means political executive, they change every 5 years now. So next is what? Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Prime Ministers, that means Prime Minister is the most important political institution in our country, yet there is no direct election for the post of Prime Ministers. Okay, there is no direct election, they are chosen from the Lok Sabha election. The leaders, okay, the leaders of the Lok Sabha who got the majority or the coalitions, they form a government, that the leader become the Prime Ministers. Okay, and so he is appointed by the presidents. Okay, so look here, and on the advice of Prime Ministers, the Prime Minister is choosing his Council of Ministers, and they are given by the appointed by the presidents. Okay, that means president appoint the other minister and on the advice of Prime Minister. This one is very important. Okay, the Prime Minister is free to choose the minister as long as they are the member of the parliament. That means the Prime Minister have free to choose. Okay, anyone, his cabinet or minister. Okay, cabinet or minister are usually the top level leaders of the ruling party. Okay, you have to know that one. So they are going to form Council of Minister, Cabinet Minister, like that. Okay, Minister of the State with the independent charge. Okay, are usually in charge of smaller ministries. They are participate in the cabinet meetings. Okay, in only when specially invited. Minister of the State are attached to any required to assist the cabinet ministers. Okay, power of Prime Minister. Okay, that means the Constitution does not say very much about the power of the Prime Ministers, minister or the minister of their relationship with each other, but it is the head of the government. The Prime Minister have wide ranging of power. He chairs cabinet meeting. He coordinated the work in the different departments. His decisions are the final in case of disagreement arise between the department. He exercise general supervision of different ministers. Okay, and next is what? The president. While the president, okay, the Prime Minister is the head of the government, the president is the head of the state. Okay, in our political system, the head of the state exercises only the normal power. The President of India is like a Queen of Britain, okay, whose functions are to a large extent ceremonial. The President supervises the overall functioning of all the political institutions in the country so that they can operate in an harmony to achieve the objective of the states. Okay, and next one is what? The judiciary. Okay, judiciary is also very important. Okay, let us return one final times to the story of office memorandum we have started. This time let us not recall the story but imagine how different the story have been. Remember, the story came to satisfy and because the Supreme Court have given a verdict and accepted by everyone. Imagine that if there are nothing like a Supreme Court in our countries. Okay, judiciary is an independent and the powerful judiciary is considered an essential for democracy. All the court at different level in our country put together are called judiciaries. Okay, all the courts, okay, in the state or in the central level, they are called judiciary. Judiciary are the independent. Okay, they are not belongs to any houses. Okay, so they are independent. Okay, the Indian judiciary consists of Supreme Court of their entire nation. That means Supreme Court is the judiciary of entire nations. So Supreme Court, entire nation. High Court is in the state, district court is in district state, and the local court in the local level. Okay, India has an integrated judiciary. It means that the Supreme Court controls the judicial administration in the country. In its decision, the binding of all the other court of the country, it can be taken up. Okay, it can be dispute between citizen of the country, citizen and the government. Between that means when there is any dispute between the citizen to citizen or citizen with government or between two states, or if there is any misconception between the government and the union, that means during that time judiciary is going to play an important role. Judiciary are the independents. Okay, they are not under the control of legislature or the executives. Okay, the judges do not act as the direct. That means the judges are not done, okay, on the direction of the government. They are that is why all modern democracy have court that have independence of legislature, executive. Okay, India achieved this. Okay, the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court are appointed by this was appointed by whom? The President, on the advice of whom? The Prime Minister. Okay, and consult with the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. In practice now means that the senior judge of the Supreme Court select a new judge of the Supreme Court and the High Court. There is very little scope for interference, okay, by the political executive. The senior most Supreme Court is usually appointed Chief Justice. Okay, once a person is appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court or High Court, it is nearly impossible to remove him or her from the position. It is and difficult to removing the President of India. A judge can be removed only by an implement motion passed separately by 2/3 member of the House of the Parliament. It is never happened in the history of India. That means judiciary is one of the most important powerful in the world. Okay, that means it control over power of interpret Constitution of India. They can be declared. Okay, they can invalid the law. That means that is a role. That means they are very independent. Okay, if anyone can approach the court if there is public interest is hurt by the action of the government. Okay, this is called public PIL. Okay, public interest litigation. The court intervene to prevent the misuse of the government power to make decision, check the malpractice of the part of the public official. That is why judiciary enjoy the high level confidence among people. Okay, thank you. That's all.